Welcome to Mini News Update. This is your weekly review of all the miniature gaming and tabletop gaming news for the previous week. Episode 4 is releasing October 4th, 2009. Privateer Press is having another week of big news. November 24th has been announced as the start date for the Hordes Mark II field test. Then, on January 2nd, 2010, an amended field test document will be released and will be official for all Privateer Press organized play events. The final version of the rules will be released in summer, but this is a way to tide Hordes players over while War Machine Mark II rolls out. Kudos to Privateer Press for being this willing to meet customer demand. Also this week, we learned that Privateer Press has released the rules to grind in PDF. It's nice to see them taking a page from the likes of Fantasy Flight and Days of Wonder and posting the rules for new games before they're launched. Lots of news from Games Workshop this week. Games Day UK brought us a load of new info and cool picks. The biggest piece of news is that there will be a computer-animated Ultramarines movie released. This will be direct to DVD and hopefully will be worth the wait. We also found out Tyranids will have their new codex in January. There are some greens of Talarans on hand too. Hopefully we'll see these released at some point. There is also a new model that will be exclusively available for White Dwarf subscribers. The White Dwarf in Space. This figure bothers me on a few levels. First off, I feel like they're thumbing their noses at all the squat fans. But secondly, the inclusion of the Black Gobbo in an alien gray costume makes the model too silly for any real purpose. Forge World had a few new models on hand too. The Elysians will get a 6-wheeled assault vehicle. The Forge World Lord of Change model was finally seen. And they had an impressive Chaos Reaver Titan on hand as well. Fantazation Miniatures have released a new figure for their Rusted Heroes line. Numina, Ancient Gladiatorial Cyclops. With a height of 45mm, there's not much that can stand up to him in the arena. It will come with enough parts to make 4 variations. Next up we have this beast. This is a human brute figure for an upcoming Asmodee board game called Claustrophobia. I don't know much more beyond that, but this is one great looking figure. From Impact Miniatures, we have a Rat Ogre to bolster your team. This guy looks impressive. His name is Head Slicer, and he'd look great even off the field. With the new Skaven book due out for Warhammer, this would make a great addition to your fantasy army too. Wave 5 for Alchemy has been released. Packs in this release include Kalaman's Reinforcements, Orlok Reinforcements, Lotharius and the Avaloni Ritari, and Fu Nihao and the Shadows of the Cobra Guard. Darkson Designs has posted a preview of the cover for their upcoming sci-fi skirmish rule set, AE Bounty. Reaper had a few previews this week and 2 of them caught my eye. There's a drunken pirate sculpted by Matthew Bickley that looks like a lot of fun. He's even got a little monkey friend. Then there's a pulp hero sculpted by Bob Rodolfi. Yeah, make sure you paint him up with a nice bronze skin tone. Manic Games have released a preview image of their upcoming Elven Bowman. I'm still not sold on the models yet, but I don't have to be to get a few for free and see for myself in person. Wayland Games is offering a free sprue of Manic Games elves to anyone who emails their address to them. Free is a pretty good deal, and it's definitely going to be good to make a final judgment after I see the models in person. Antinicity's Workshop has some new work in progress photos of a new 28mm scale vehicle they're working on. The Warthog is a 4-man light armored APC with 2 20mm Gatling guns mounted on rails. The Master is almost finished, so expect to see it available soon. Warlord has released a new World War II tank for their bolt action line. The Tetrarch is a 28mm scale resin model that would be useful for British airborne forces as it was used in air landings, as well as Russian forces via the Lend-Lease agreement. This week they also released a screen for a special promo figure. Big Wooly is a Crimean Highlander that they will be giving away with orders that contain their Black Powder rulebook. Also, any order containing the Black Powder rulebook will be shipped for free worldwide. And finally from Warlord, preview images of their 28mm pike and shot plastic cavalry. They don't have the horse sprue in hand yet, but the riders look nice. Rebel Minis has 2 new packs of figures for their 15mm sci-fi line. The Earth Force Infiltrators pack comes with 21 models in 6 poses and was sculpted by Martin Baker. Next is the Sahadin War Maidens. This pack also comes with 21 models, but only 5 poses. Again, this was sculpted by Martin Baker. 15mm.co.uk have released some 15mm cultist figures that you'll be able to purchase individually. Guild of Harmony have released 3 new fantasy figures. I hadn't heard of this company till this week, but I was impressed. First up is a goblin boss named Nagrot Crookeye. I like this goblin. It just captures the feel of a goblin boss superbly. Next up is Jian Naai, a fisherman. It's a great looking model. I like the look of it a lot. Not much game use that I can think of, but hey, I think it'd be a lot of fun to paint. And lastly, Shin Kai, Burmese priestess. Again, looks wonderful. I can see this one having more use in a game as a sorceress or something along those lines. Since I wasn't familiar with Go to Harmony, I took a look at their shopping page and found many other wonderful models that would make great additions to anyone's collection as either painting projects or character models. Look forward to seeing what else they come out with in the future. Well, that's it for this week. There's a few other stories I wanted to cover, but I won't have time to get to them before I have to post this online. So come back next week and I'll try and fill in some of the gaps I missed this week. And if you're looking to keep up with mini news on a day-to-day basis, always feel free to check out some of the great news sites out there, such as the Miniatures page and Tabletop Gaming News. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.